And welcome back to Blue Tongue Stadium as the Tigers are taken out by Robbie Farah. If these two clubs were to finish in the positions on the ladder they now occupy, they will play each other on the first weekend of the finals in September. West Tigers 7th on the table, Manly up at number 2. And as Kieran Foran pointed out today, if anyone thinks this competition is down to just 3 or 4 that can win, then he warns to think again whilst ever the Marshall man is still around in this competition. Their clash tonight is enough reason to be here. Benji Marshall versus Kieran Foran. The Wyong-Roos under 7s go out hand in hand with Manly. The Wyong-Roos under 10s formed the Guard of Honour. And has anybody seen Glenn Stewart in better form than he's in right now? Form that has seen him go back to Origin this year. Absolutely superb effort by Glenn Stewart to regain some of the blistering form from a couple of years ago. Anthony Watmoe returns after missing the Penrith game. Their pack is an all-representative one. 5 state and 4 test players in the mix, even though they might be the oldest pack in the NRL. And there's the other fellow, the other member of the Kiwi half 5/8 combination, Kieran Foran. One is a superstar. This fellow might well be one in years to come. So it's a big crowd in the Blue Tongue to see Manly take on West Tigers. And Manly running left to right and bringing the ball back is Keith Galloway, coming away from the Brisbane Waters end of the ground. So they're guarding the southern end of the ground. West Tigers, as Gareth Ellis is taken on the second tackle just beyond the 20-metre line. The ground looks to be quite damp on top. Quite a bit of dew, but it's Lawrence with the ball now. In his 4th game back after hip dislocation. An amazing recovery. And Tim Moulton now to play the ball in front of, I guess, his home crowd, you might say. Him and Chris Hyington, both products of Central Coast football. And so it's Bryce Gibbs who plays the ball on a successful set for West Tigers. They've got the nervous one out of the road successfully. They batted back, and then it's kicked by Marshall. It was batted back by Lawrence. Stewart is hammered by Marshall, and Brett Stewart will play the ball. 12 metres out now from the Manly line, and it's William Hopoate who's taken down under 3 of the West Tigers. I've got to say, in the warm-up, they really look to be giving off a good body language, West Tigers, as they come into this match as, I won't say the despised outsiders, but certainly the outsiders to win the game.
And if Jason King takes it forward, talking about body language, a bit of a shiner, or a nice shiner there on the cheek of Gareth Ellis. Saw a bit of blood coming down already as Watmoe gets his first touch. Big Englishman.
Yeah, there it is there, Pete. That's pretty much what happened. He's worn the left knee of somebody. So the ball is taken along the ground now by Manly, and had to move quickly late, didn't he, Moulton? And he's cleaned it up eventually. It could have been quite dangerous for West Tigers. Now Bo Ryan, and he's to play the ball on the 30-metre line. Keith is it again. It brings it away. In fact, it's Bryce Gibbs.
They were very conservative for much of the game last week, the Tigers, especially in the opening 20 minutes. Their completion rate was almost faultless. It's because they were going forward more than sideways, and it seems to be their intent again tonight as Bruce Gibbs, his second touch in that 6. Marshall
finding Louis, and Louis goes on to Fulton. Fulton away to Ashford. Ashford turns it back to Utai, who knows the sideline is close. So he worked his way away from the eastern touchline. That's the changeover, and already there's a disagreement. Not foreign to matches between West Tigers and Manly. Anthony Watmoe involved with Matt Utai.
Just wait.
Now Matai will play the ball to get us going again. Jason Robinson dousing whatever flames were coming out of that little disturbance. Ball play by Brent Kite near halfway. Joe Malabar takes it ahead, and it's a good run. Strong run of 10 metres up to the West Tigers 40-metre line. Cherry Evans turns it in. Glenn Stewart goes across. Brett Stewart's there. And that is Kieran Foran with the ball now. Played 32 metres out from the line. Back in for Nullivar to work it up the middle of the ruck. 25 metres out. Taken down by Liam Fulton. Now for Cherry Evans, and he goes back after a decoy, took some heat away. Glenn Stewart, then Jamie Lyons. 20 metres out from the West Tigers line. They go deep and long, and to the boot of Foran. He goes over towards Matai. He came down with it, and Utai has got the ball. So Utai playing the ball inside his own 20-metre line. Let's go to the sideline for Andrew Johns, a comment from him.
Yeah, the surface tonight, Rabs, is quite slippery. The grass is really long and there's a heavy dew, so I think it'll affect the way both teams approach the way they play with the ball. A lot of angle changes around the ruck. I think it'll be like playing wet weather football tonight.
Joey on the sidelines, and Peter, of course, and Gus in the box tonight. And Gareth Ellis playing the ball 40 metres out from his own line. Jason King was fairly slow to get out to play the ball. Galloway plays it now, and then goes to Marshall, and he rakes it or hooks it, if you like, back towards Hoparate. And William to play the ball right on his own red line, as you can see, 10 metres in from touch.
Well, that's the second missed kick so far from Benji Marshall in the opening minutes of this game. I imagine the ball's probably fairly slippery as well if the ground surface is. There's Manly good field position now with Foran finding Kite.
Brent Kite is able to get away from a couple of jumper-grabbing tackles. Now Cherry Evans runs a half circle and goes back into the middle of the ground, where Fulton was there with Farah and Hyington. So Daly Cherry Evans plays it back for Matt Ballin, then to Kieran Foran, inside ball for Matai. Matai is 35 metres out from the line, to that line, and then the kick from Foran. Foran's kick is going to sit down in goal with Utai nursing it to the ground. So a line dropout. We'll see the restart after a nicely weighted kick by Kieran Foran. Matt Utai with some clean-up work in goal down at the southern end.
Well, it's a beautiful finish here from Kieran Foran. He loves that short raid down the left-hand side. The kick was perfect. In behind Matt Utai and Tim Moulton. And this is the kind of night that will be successful. Forcing restarts, playing good field position. Manly well placed now on the back of that man's deft little kick.
The line dropout is off the boot of Marshall. It goes 41 metres, and Jason King, he ran into a big shoulder from Ellis, I think, in the main.
Lost it.
Just what you need on a cold night. And the Tigers celebrate.
Yeah, it was Ellis, all right. Everybody went looking for Gareth Ellis to say congratulations.
Yeah, get this, India. Watch this. Kabang! Down he goes. The ball comes out. And the Tigers celebrate. They run over to the Pommy forward and say, good on you, mate. He's winded, he's hurting. He said, don't hit me too hard. But he absolutely give it to him. Bang! What a beauty.
He was sorely missed in the first half of the season, Gareth Ellis. He's been player of the year for them the last 2 seasons, and rightly so. And he had so much when he's back and fit. And he's back and fit.
Robert Louis with a blindside play that ends with Bo Ryan going in field.
I don't think Manly will take it lying down though. Look at them revved up now, ready to come forward and hit. They'll want to belt someone back.
Chris Lawrence is the next candidate for that. Glenn Stewart is really firing it up, as a matter of fact.
They love it, Manly.
Manly putting 4 into the tackle. King was one of them. And now here is Gibbs taking it ahead. He doesn't mind a bit of this himself. And again, Glenn Stewart leads the defence on the halfway line. Louis gets it away. Hyington, second man, onto the boot of Marshall. Dribbles it down to the 20-metre line. It's come off, I think, a West Tigers player. They said play on. Robert Louis gone for the line. He's a metre short.
Numbers left.
Big pick up there by Moulton and an unload. Moulton goes right. He does a 180 and goes right and looks to unload, but he can't. And 5 gone for West Tigers now. Louis a dummy half. Back to Hyington. On to Marshall. Over to Farah now. He puts a kick into the in goal. He's turned the winger around. Well, Bo Ryan is saying he scored.
Oh, he's got his hand on the football here.
Hopewadi doesn't look happy with what's happened.
Yeah, we'll have a few looks at this, but I think he gets to the football before the dead ball line, but whether he actually gets the right contact or not, it was a bit uncomfortable after the effort. The kick is a beauty from Robbie Farah. So too was the one from Benji Marshall after they brought the back line up from Manly. All onside, way onside. Hopewadi was already back, so he had a head start on Bo Ryan. He wants this to go dead. It doesn't. We'll get a better view of it, but Ryan comes late.
That's his hand.
And scores. You weren't in Melbourne last week, Gus.
No. That's a knock
Oh,
on.
hang on, let's have a look at it before
It's a
you
knock
go
on,
off before
Rabbits.
acceptances.
It's a knock on.
Oh,
Well, don't bet your life on it.
I'm betting my life on it. No, I'm betting your life on it.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
I'll
That's a
bet your
big
life
call.
on it. It's a knock on.
It could well be a simultaneous put down, which favours the attacking side.
No.
well, what they'll look at is the rotation of the football here and whether his hand stays on it.
Oh, you can rotate it forever. Yeah, that's a knock on. Bang, hit, knock on.
Is there separation between his left hand and the football?
Knock on. It's nowhere near his left hand, Rabbits.
Oh, well, we're watching different pictures.
Oh, it's a knock on.
You must have left at interval.
It's the best.
You've gone home at interval. I've
It's
got the
the-
second show.
It's a knock on.
I'm happy for it to be a knock on.
So am I.
I'm not convinced that it is
I'm not going to bet my life
on
on it.
what we've seen.
Knock on.
And he's got no right to bet my life on it.
Well, yours is more valuable than mine.
I don't know about that. Well,
Knock on.
Sean Hampstead is next to us and he said no try.
Oh,
Manly fans rejoice. Welcome back to the world of the living.
Thank you.
well, the biggest sigh of relief comes from young Will Hopewadi. His second game back from the injury break from Origin. He'll play at the next one.
So Nullavow plays the ball. The video referee in the box next to us, just putting both thumbs up in the direction of Sean Hampstead as if to say thank you, you saved my life.
Saved yours.
And mine too. I mean, you're quite right. He took us both out. Here's Matai. I agree with you, Peter. Some of these decisions with separation being the maiden word and not control. See, Gus is still with that old word control. Here's King playing the ball and Cherry Evans puts a kick in and he grubbers it along this dewy surface, and you saw Maltson looking for traction and he couldn't find it. Now they pick him up and carry him back in goal. Referee gives a penalty. He must have called hell.
He called hell as soon as the man's feet left the ground.
I called held several times. Glenn in particular just kept running with him. Okay, you can pull up.
Yeah, they had him in the perfect hold, Rabbits. What's this? They'll pick him up and they'll drive him all the way back to Brisbane. Waters.
Held!
Wasn't about get out. We were all about to jump. We were about to swoop.
You were going to say Brisbane's the other way then, weren't you?
That was nearly your best. It was a beautiful get-out. Here's Keith Galloway with the ball now. It's amazing. The game went for 5 minutes and you said nothing, and you've been in total command for the last 5 minutes. And you haven't made a mistake. That's more incredible. Here's Louis turning it in for Fulton now.
I'll go home now.
Right on the halfway line in the Bundaberg Rum Friday night football side. Here's Galloway taking it up to the 40-metre line. Farah shows it, gives it. Lawrence it is. Grappled to the ground by Glenn Stewart, who looks to me to be fired right up. Now it's gone from Farah off the boot and dribbling away down over the touchline at the northern end. We'll take a break on Friday night football. It's Manly and the West Tigers battling it out here.
Both feet were off. go. Outside feet up. No striking.
Wait for the ball, Tigers. Wait for the ball.
Keep feet down. What a shame, boys. Hey, no, they kept it in.
Welcome back to Gosford, to Blue Tongue Stadium, and Cherry Evans taking this penalty, and it finds touch.
Yeah, not
All the way, Tigers.
not the kick he was actually looking for, but he'll take
Wait
it.
for the kick.
It came from a scrum penalty, and Manly a quick restart through line.
So it was a differential penalty to that scrum back in that corner on Manly's end of the ground. So it's turned out to be a wonderful kick, really. Here's Nullivar. 30 metres out from the West Tigers line. Big Joe. Cherry Evans decides to go. Got it back to Brett Stewart. Here comes a try. Mr. Magic is back at his brilliant best. Brett Stewart at the 13th minute score.
He had some brilliant help. Daly Cherry Evans pops a fantastic pass here. Appeared to have been claimed by the West Tigers, and Brett Stewart, showing the necessary respect for the players in front of him, kept support, and Cherry Evans just popped it out, and Stewart almost a free run to the line. Took everybody by surprise, except Cherry Evans and Brett Stewart.
That's brilliant. Gee whiz, he's a good kid. Daly Cherry Evans. The halfback that's prepared to go to the line and take the hit to get a result, and then the offload is tremendous. And Brett Stewart knew it. He knew the young fellow should not be given up on, and charged into the hole to pick it up and score the first try.
We've mentioned before in Manly games how deceptively strong Cherry Evans is up top, and he took on two forwards there, and he actually got through the line. So by the time Brett Stewart was able to get the pass, they'd actually gone past the Tigers defenders. You could see Gareth Ellis. They were already a metre his side of his own try line.
So the kick from Jamie Lyon is successful. So we've got our first points on the board. A converted try scored by Brett Stewart, laid on by Daly Cherry Evans. Andrew Johns is on the sideline.
In these wet, slippery conditions, you need your halves playing a little bit like second rowers, playing really tough, playing straight in the line. Look at this, the show and go, great strength. And then look at the anticipation by this guy. Everyone else give up on the play, but Brett Stewart knew something was on. What a player. Daly Cherry Evans, he picked up a knock early in the game, got a cork try. So even goes to show the strength and the toughness of the guy.
108 tries in his career now for Brett Stewart. And there is another example of how slippery it is. And this is going to be a line dropout. And you can almost blame the top surface and the dew for causing that, because Brett Stewart went for traction, he couldn't find it.
He slips over 3 times in the space of 8 metres here. Ball coming down, he'll go once there, he'll go twice, and then when he gets to the ball, down he goes again.
Yeah, under dry conditions, there's no doubt Brett Stewart, of all people, would have got that back into the field of play. Now he's being reshod by the farrier.
Yeah, it's like one of those nightmares you have, isn't it, where you're trying to run away and you can't get going. They're terrible. You try to run and you just go nowhere.
Freddy Krueger's chasing and you can't get any traction. This is Fulton with the ball now. I watched it last night, actually, Elm Street 3. He was chasing him this morning at 4 o'clock, Freddie. Utah's with the ball. 29 metres out. Go to the right side for Chris Hyington, who, as I said, played his junior football here with Umina Bunnies. Born in Camden, finished up playing for Umina Bunnies, and Robert Louis drops the ball, knock on. Just outside the 20-metre line, down Manly's end of the ground. Tonight, of course, the refs are wearing green socks. You may have noticed that. That's to raise awareness for National Tree Day, which is Sunday, 31st of July. Toyota and Planet Ark are calling on you to get your hands dirty and plant a tree. To take part, go to treeday.planetark.org or visit your nearest Toyota dealer. It's a better idea for more information. The Manly win the scrum, and they go away to the left side of the ground to find Foran. Kieran plays it on his own 40-metre line. This is Michael Oldfield. They pick him up and dump him on the ground, right on the halfway line. So Manly with a converted try at the 13th minute of this game. Pardon me, a game that we've been waiting for. Great expectation. So far it hasn't let us down. Stewart played the ball. Glenn Stewart, Jamie Lyon bumping away from the first tackle as it goes away now into the hands of Foran onto his right foot. It's a high kick. A test for Utah and a leaping Oldfield. It's knocked on by him.
Out the 10. On the line. Play the ball out
For the high ball, he will be the target, Matt Utah.
Kieran, Steve, 10 metres.
Very strong, but not
Tall.
Well, he can't jump. You give it his best jump there. He hardly goes anywhere. He looks like George Costanza. He's got no vertical leap.
Keith Galloway. You're having a big night. There's Bryce Gibbs. Hasn't seen the try line since the grand final of 05. Bryce. In fact, I think he scored 3 tries in his entire career.
Well, he's seen it, he just hasn't been able to get there.
Fair enough, well done. Hyington. That's 40-15, Gus's favour. Now it's gone away to Marshall. And Marshall puts it up high. Oldfield taken by Louis, but more vigorously by Fulton. Matai outside the 20-metre line. Ashford makes the tackle. Matai got up and he got a penalty out of it.
He got away with one here, Steve Natter. I think he gets up and he goes forward, no doubt, into the player.
Steve, let us deal with it. Let us do it.
Galloway's been penalised. Watch this, though, and you'll see what Peter Sterling's talking about. He gets up. You can't do that. Galloway's the second offender, not the first. Sorry, sir, you got it wrong. Now Brent Keith, tackled in the middle of the ground on the halfway line. 4 and a dummy half. In fact, it was Bell in a dummy half. They have got the same haircut. Here's Watmo. There's another with the same haircut. I'll tell you about that later. Here's Cherry Evans now.
Well, Glenn Stewart nearly threw it to the second referee there. The pocket referee was right in the middle of the ruck, and Glenn Stewart nearly put it right in his breadbasket. There he comes back looking for a runner. There's the referee. Oops. Had to get out of the way.
Well, Ballon across the ground, linking up with Jason King. 35 metres away from the West Tigers line. Manly starting to boil again. Watmo quickly, knock on there from Brett Stewart onto Ashford.
First off.
West Tigers will get the loose head and feed.
Yeah, really good pressure there from Blake Ashford. Could see it unfolding in front of him. Came up, forced the mistake. In fact, the centre battle on both sides of the field tonight, fantastic. Ashford up against Matai, and on this side, Chris Lawrence v Jamie Lyon. Ashford wins on this occasion.
Yeah, well, defence should win tonight. The conditions and the slowness of the passing means that aggressive defence is the order, and both sides get a chance to come up and hit hard and put pressure on their opponents. Good example there from Ashford. Defence should win the battle tonight in those sort of competitions.
Brett Stewart paid $9 with TAB Sportsbet to be the first try scorer. You can bet live on this game on 1-3-3-9-0 with TAB Sportsbet. They are the biggest, they are the best, but gamble responsibly. Near the halfway line now for Blake Ashford.
This interesting first interchange here from Tim Sheens as Liam Fulton gets spun around and flicks one out the back, knocked on by Tim Molson. We've had Keith Galloway leave the field, and young Matt Grote was playing his third first-grade game. He's the first man off the bench into the action. There he is there, a very talented young man, and he's been thrown in front of the likes of Todd Payton and Aaron Woods.
Australian schoolboy on 2 occasions.
Back rowers.
Tim Tony, captain of St Gregory's College. Breeding ground of champion young footballers.
I need you down till the ball comes out.
Up there, you'd be watching Matt Grote tonight with great interest. The old mate. Conan. Now the ball is won by Manly, picked up at the back of the scrum. Surprise, surprise, surprise. And playing the ball is Stewart. That's Nullavow. Down low, making the tackle is Bryce Gibbs.
Been their best forward in these opening exchanges. Joe Nolliver played very straight as Manly again tried to fling it wide, but the defence up in their face once again.
Ashford's working overtime in defence out there. He's had to make some very big decisions to shut them down. Here's Brent Kite taken by Marshall and Fulton. And Brent will play the ball 32 metres away from the West Tigers line. Here's Foran to the line, and he's held there by Farah and by Fulton. 20-metre line then. West Tigers in, Cherry Evans, the kick is good to Bo Ryan's wing, and Bo Ryan has come down successfully with it. Papawati went flashing through the air. Ryan comes down with it, gets up and gives a bit of something back verbally to the Manly defender. Here he is again, Ryan. He's picked up by Jamie Lyon in defence. 20-metre line. Here's Grote with the ball. Jamie Lyon was down on his rump there for a little while. He's okay. Louis driving it hard and low. Down to Brett Stewart, outside the 30-metre line. Louis puts everybody on side. Hyington and Grote make the tackle just inside the 40-metre line. Glenn Stewart's pass for William Hopewate. And William to play the ball. Woods has gone on for Bryce Gibbs now. Rockmo. Ballon across for Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans in ball for Stewart. Stewart taken down by Farah together with Woods. And Manly attacking to the left side for Foran to get a kick in. Moulton covers. Wedged in the corner, taken down by Oldfield.
And a double change made by Manly, both Jason King and Joe Nolliver off. Going on Shane Rodney and George Rose. A strong defence there, but they've got the wrong man now. Grote's got it 20 out from his own line. In fact, it's Woods, I'm sorry.
Aaron Woods with the ball, 22 metres out after Utah was being shoveled back, and he got a ball back to Aaron. And now the wrestle is on in vigour with Hyington taken to ground by George Rose. That's Grote. They play the ball 35 metres out from the line. Over to Marshall. Marshall goes along out to Lawrence, and now it's with Ryan. Steps off his left foot, beats a couple. Jamie Lyon came from behind him, but it was left to Matt Ballon to make the tackle. Now to Marshall. Marshall puts a kick up high, down in the direction of Oldfield. It's a big bounce. Brett Stewart goes up to take it. Louis is with him. So Marshall putting a monster kick up on that occasion. The bounce was nearly as big as the kick, actually. Watmo plays it. Matai comes away, making good meters. Relieving run from Matai. Now Hopewate, winger to winger. Oldfield picked up by Utah. Right on the halfway line. 6-0 is the score. Try for Stewart. Brett Stewart at the 13th minute of the game. George Rose. He'll play the ball under the tackle of Matt Grote. Then it goes to Foran, who basically stabs it into the corner. Moulton gets the bounce. And Timmy Moulton taken to ground 10 metres out from his own line. Played his junior football with Terrigal Sharks. Matt Utah given another chance in the top grade by West Tigers. Hyington to Gareth Ellis, and they're good meters. Ellis out to the 30-metre line. Here is Marshall, short this time to Chris Lawrence. And Lawrence is tackled right on the halfway line. Bo Ryan goes in, gives a pass out. Here's Marshall down the left side. Support is coming. He floats a pass, floats it right over towards the middle, and the try breaks down.
No.
Foran has got the ball.
That pass was never going to find that target.
He's got an argument here, Robbie Farah. He's saying that if you're going to give a penalty, it's got to be a professional foul. It's got to be a sin bin. Jamie Lyon did very well here back on the inside to stay with Robbie Farah, and that forced Benji Marshall to throw the one over the top. Nice move. Got on the outside of Will Hopewade. Lyon straining to stay with Robbie Farah. And
yeah, but Jamie Lyon tackles him at the point where he thought he would have got the ball. I mean, had the pass hit Farah, the tackle would have been legal. But he's not to know that he hasn't thrown it to Farah.
Whichever way, West Tigers in a strong attacking position. Aaron Woods, 12 metres out from the line. Farah to Harrington. Good defence from Watmo in the main with Ballon. Ballon doing a lot of good defensive work. Now they come on to Marshall and went to Chris Lawrence. And he did well to catch it just above the grass.
That's a great catch.
Play back to Moulton again. Now to Marshall. Marshall onto Woods. Woods is taken 10 metres out from the line. Farah again. Team number 7, West Tigers. Marshall, a little toe poke. It's a line drop out to restart.
Good work, Brett Stewart. He read that nicely, and it's becoming evident to both teams that the little kick in behind the line is probably the way to go in these conditions. And Stewart was awake to it. Able to punch it out the back. Lovely little short side play there between Robbie Farah and Benji Marshall to get him away in the previous set.
Clock's running.
And then Marshall resorts to the grubber kick. Forces the line drop out to come back with more pressure.
The drop out, Robert Louis tried to take it on the feet, and it's cost him a couple of seconds, which equates to about 10 metres. We played the ball 2 metres on Manly's side of halfway. That's Aaron Woods with the ball. There's Hasler. Played football with Tim Sheens. Des was coming in and Tim was going out.
Careless mistake there from Robbie Farah, forward pass from dummy half. They were building nicely. They got the restarts from under the posts. Consecutive sets, so important. And it's just out in the front of Harrington.
I hate that, Rabbits. I hate the dummy half forward pass.
Back rowers pull them together. Tigers back rowers get
Just
down.
seems unnecessary, doesn't it?
Well, it's just, it's silly. It's my pet hate.
You know what I hate more? The no-look dummy half-forward pass.
Andridge on sideline, we just saw from that scrum Daly Cherry Evans out on the right wing. You think he's still struggling with that cork you spoke about earlier in the night?
Yeah, it'll be interesting at half-time, Sterlo, when he actually cools down, how he comes out after the second half. But he's definitely hobbling around, but to his credit, he's toughing it out.
Right in the middle of the ground. Foran goes short away. Rodney is through a gap. Manly are coming again. Rodney's about 7 metres out. Make that 2 metres out. Shane Rodney. Great run. Ballon away. Foran's with the ball. Dummies and tries to go. 5 metres from the line. Played by Kieran Foran, last tackle. Cherry Evans gets a kick on it. Taken by Bo Ryan, but he's headed for the turf. He's headed for the dead ball line anyway. And it's a line dropout at the half-hour mark.
Yeah, nice combination there between Kieran Foran and Shane Rodney. Little left side play. This is their favourite side, aimed at Robert Louis. And he just brushed past him. Got into the backfield. He was a little bit shocked. But thankfully didn't throw the silly pass. And then again, teams resorting to the grubber kick in the greasy conditions.
The West Tigers with the restart, and it's not that long. Taken inside the 40-metre line, and George Rose rumbles it back to Farah and Fulton. Played for Ballon. Ballon shows it to Moro, who's out there now. These Manly haircuts, as I said earlier, have been cropped for some awareness that Manly are trying to raise, and I'll do more justice to that in just a moment in the telecast. But this has been fast and furious, this game. bit of housework to do, and I haven't got time to do it, but it's gone away now to Foran, and it's lofted over into no man's land, and Matai is with the ball. And Ashford has got him covered. They play it inside 20. They come back for the boot of Foran again. It's a lovely kick, and up they go, and it's a battle between Lawrence and Hopewadi. The ball has been lost.
Sick. Knock on Manly.
Knock on has been ordered.
Knock on Manly feet.
Knock on Chris Lawrence, Manly feed. If he was going to call play on, he thought Will Hopewadi, that man, was coming up with the football.
So you can see that the Manly players with some inscriptions in the back of their head. It's about the Little M Foundation. It's about the Little M Foundation, which of course is named after Michaela Rodriguez, who has been diagnosed with secondary dystonia, damage to the brain, if I can simplify. So 7 of the Manly players had their hair shaved, and each one of them has got one of the letters that make up Little M. And we'll go back to that in a moment as Foran goes over. Matai goes straight. He's 3 metres out from the line. Playing it back to Brett Stewart, and he decides to have a dig. 2 metres from the line. Tackled over there by Fulton. And from Ballon he finds Rose. There's a lot of manpower there, and they put 3 and 4 into the tackle. Played by Rose. Here's Ballon having a go, and Ballon's over. One-time Origin hooker. Matt Ballon, grand final try scorer from memory. Matt Ballon scores for Manly.
He's probably a little bit unlucky that Cameron Smith is around. He might play more Origin if that had been the case, because he's a very solid performer. The little dummy on the outside slid through the gap. And that's their second for the evening.
And welcome to our audience is taking us out there in rugby league land, wherever you might be. I'm never quite aware where we're going, so what more can I do but apologise for that? But always we are aware you're there, and you're watching one of our very good matches, top of the table stuff. 2 versus 7. I made the point earlier that Matt Ballon had been very effective blocking up the middle in defence, but he's also got the ability to scoot from dummy half and pick up a try. He's a very good player, and he's another example of a kid coming through at the same time as a superstar, if you like, and he basically plays his career backstage. Second fiddle. Jamie Lyon converts.
I just want you to watch the replay here, and young Aaron Woods gets a big lesson in football. He's the one at market. There's a little bit of argy-bargy between here and George Rose. Now he goes around. Now Aaron Woods will turn around to the referee and appeal. As he turns around to the referee and appeal, Matt Ballon's gone past him. Watch this. He'll turn back to the referee. What about that, sir? Next thing, Ballon's out and gone and beaten him to the punch. You can't go appealing to the referee when you're right on your own goal line. You got sucked in there.
West Tigers with 5 minutes of the first half to go, trailing 12-0, and Watmo comes back on the gallop. 20-metre line achieved. Played for him and then gone to George Rose. And look at big George go down to the 40-metre line. Ballon again, handing it in for Morrow. He'll play it in the middle of the ground. Halfway line, Cherry Evans, Glenn Stewart, unload, backed up, Cherry Evans, inside ball, Jamie Lyon. Lyon's got inside 20, puts a kick in for Brett Stewart. Ashford comes across and puts it dead. Oh, this is a brilliant game of football. It's frenetic.
And they've got their tails up, haven't they, the Eagles? Crucial time coming up to half-time. Great offload there from Glenn Stewart, and then the inside pass to Jamie Lyon, spun out of a tackle, summed up the situation, thought the kick was the best option. And Blake Ashford had to travel a long way to come and save the day.
Line bench.
And dropout being taken again by Benji Marshall with 4 minutes of the half remaining. Foran giving it back to George Rose. And the caption might well have read at the bottom of the screen, "Not me again, please. Not this soon." Here's Watmough.
Well, Big Georgie, the water level goes up in the ocean when he goes for a swim. There's plenty of him.
Stewart. Glenn Stewart with the ball inside the 20-metre line. Play back for Ballin. Ballin across. Players working off the ball. Rodney is with it. 10 metres out from the line. So Terry Evans. Oh, Gareth Ellis, a vain attempt to stop him. He's lost about 10 metres, Terry Evans. He's got the ball away and knocked on his Hopewadi knocking on. So it's advantage to the West Tigers and play on immediately. Played by Chris Lawrence. This is Keith Galloway. The Tigers, by the way, are growing beards to support the Benji Marshall Foundation, which is raising funds for Children's Cancer Institute. The first one to shave, apparently he's got to put 200 in the bin. But that is the foundation that Benji has formed. The Benji Marshall Foundation, helping children's cancer research at the Institute.
Well, they're still pumping each other up there, the Tigers. They'll feel as though they've given as good as they've got, but they find themselves 12-0 down. And that's the quality of this Manly side. They love to be in high-intensity clashes where it's all physical and bash and barge, and they just seem to get on top of everyone.
Coaches involved as well in the growing of the beard.
Shifty. He had a beard. He had a beard once. I don't know who he was hiding from, but he had one.
This is Foran. Show and go. 40 metres away from the West Tigers line. Just an urgent couple of minutes here for West Tigers. They don't want any more points on the board. Morrow. And up the middle, 25 metres away from the line. Played by Morrow. Ballin sweeps it on. Forward keeps it close and tight. It went to ground, I thought. And the referee is going to order a knock on.
Scrum in here.
Incidentally, I was saddened to learn of the passing of Dennis Meany, who played for both Manly and for Western Suburbs in a career between 57 and 66. In fact, in 61, Dennis missed one game. It was the grand final between Western Suburbs and St George. And next Friday night, Dennis will be honoured as part of the big celebrations of St George Illawarra playing West Tigers next Friday at the SFS. But to the relatives and friends of Dennis Meany, our sincerest condolences at the passing of a wonderful footballer, a gentle giant. In fact, Noel Kelly once said of Dennis Meany, he was too nice a bloke to be a front row forward. He said, I'd knock them down, trample all over them, and Dennis would go and pick them up and pat them on the head. He's buried today after his latter time was spent at Lismore, I believe, on the Northern Rivers. So here's play just into Manly's territory as Farah goes to Marshall outside inside for Ashford. In fact, for Lawrence it was. Farah back for Marshall. Marshall kicks. There's a chance out wide. Brett Stewart doesn't mess about. Got a big bat on it. He punched it hard. And it went dead in goal. And the halftime siren sounds. Well, I can't begin to tell you how much I'm enjoying this one. And if you're a Manly fan, you must be over the moon. They have been white hot here. 12-0 is the score at halftime. Our second place team leading the Tigers 12-0 at the break. Well, here they are, the West Tigers on their way back for the second half of what has been a highly entertaining game. And I think re-emphasising the fact that Manly in particular are in this competition right up to their ears. It's been at times brilliant what they've been able to do, not just tonight, but in the many weeks that we've been televising Manly. In fact, I think this is the 4th week or the 5th week they've been on free-to-air on Channel 9. And the more I see of them, the more I'm starting to like them. I noticed the TAB Sportsbet people during the week revised their premiership market to have Melbourne joint favourites with the Dragons at the top of betting, but Manly are right behind them. So we're going right down to the wire at the moment with those three very much
Behind it, boys.
the favourites of the punters, then Brisbane, then Cowboys. But still there's that feeling that this team, the West Tigers, can come out of the pack. Terrific record here, Manly. 6 of 7 played here. They've won, and over the Tigers they've beaten them 6 out of their last 8 at all venues. At the moment, that's the way it's continuing, with the West Tigers kickoff bouncing under the goal and Watmo bringing the ball back. Played a little bit awkwardly there by Watmo. This is Morrow. Anthony Watmo, sometimes he can get a little bit skew-if. Instead of facing goal, he can a little bit get east-west. Rose, played to Matai. Here's a good run from dummy half by Stephen Matai. Over halfway, Moulton has got him. Ballon then goes to Jerry Evans, who sees a gap up the middle, but it's taken 20 metres out from the line. Ballon again, Foran again. The kick into the in goal and taken there by Brett Stewart. He thrusts it out the back, and Shane Rodney has been taken into touch.
On there.
Tackle 6. Tackle 6, Ash.
Last tackle, hand over.
Play the ball, boys.
Well, what a movement there from Manly to start this second half. Only on the back of a great charge from Steve Matai out of dummy half. The kick from Kieran Foran. Brett Stewart turned his back, tried to catch a football. Matt Utai claimed him. Eventually Shane Rodney tackled in the corner, but super set.
Utai. Played to Farah. Marshall. Payton. Todd Payton. They're walking him back, and while you can do that and keep momentum in the tackle, there's no drama. It's when one of the legs gets lifted that the referee is obligated to call held. Galloway, middle ground, 20-metre line. Marshall showed it to Woods, then gave it to Fulton, his second choice. Liam plays the ball on the 30-metre line. Now Marshall, and he drives it in that leisurely fashion of his down to Hopewate. And he runs back into Robert Louis and Aaron Woods in 17. Ballon into dummy half. Jamie Lyon puts his hand up and says there's no real forwards available. I'll take it myself. And they take it to halfway now through Glenn Stewart. Ballon to Foran. Foran in, finding Rose. Rose had Todd Payton, the 15, draped around his legs. Retirement year for Todd Payton, and there's Morrow, who, gee, he was lucky. Galloway went for a shot to the solar plexus area. Would have hurt. Kick from Foran is high, and Matai has got it clean. That's turnover time, according to Ashley Klein.
Just wait, no. You got to wait for Jason.
Dump by Matt Utai at the end of it. Yep. That's the shoulder charge you were talking about with Keith Galloway, and he did miss. As the Tigers now bring it out from inside their own 20.
Touching with that shoulder again, Steve Matai. Gareth Ellis with the ball inside his own 20-metre line. Todd Payton. Centre of the ground. Sunday we will show you the Dragons up against the Rabbitohs down at Wollongong. As this ball sits down, Stewart goes quickly. And then he stands aside for Hopewate. And then Bo Ryan, that was smart play by Bo. He let Hopewate lie there as if to say, sir, what about a voluntary?
His own third tackle as well, and he wasn't far away, Robbie Farah, from picking up a 40-20.
Be interesting to watch that again if we get a chance. Did he put a hand on him, or was Bo Ryan showing a lot of rugby league wisdom?
Oh, Bo knows, Fabi. Bo knows what he's doing. Watch this. He won't touch him, won't touch him, won't touch his knees down.
Well, where's the penalty?
Now tries to grab the ball.
I thought that's what happened. I asked the question, why no penalty if it's in the rule book? And it's in the rule book. Bo, you've got more brains than I thought you had, actually. And I say that...
How do you say that?
As a term of endearment, really, because I like the kid, and that's the first time I've seen somebody do that.
I'm trying to work out if that's a rap or not.
It's a rap, all right. I've said 100 times, blokes surrendering, let them lie there. Yeah. Let them lie there.
Yeah, but the Bo, I think you've got
It's
more
Utah.
brains than I thought you had. Does that mean?
He knows what I mean. I have a sandwich with him in the green room. We're good mates. Here's Fulton. Aaron Woods.
Good run.
Oh, he's gone straight through. In one side and out the other, the big forward.
Yeah, good run.
Playing it for Farah. They need something like this. Marshall goes across, gives it to Gareth Ellis. It's put down just outside the 20-metre line by Morrow. Now it comes from Moulton. And Marshall came from left and works on the right. Farah goes in. Fulton off. Fulton put it on the stomach of Marshall. And a knock on.
Aaron Woods got them on the front foot with this run. I'm wondering if one of the Manly players was actually called out for and misses him. And Shane Rodney, he could have made the tackle, but he must have been told that he was out of play. Then one of those instances where you're probably better off making the tackle and giving the penalty just to be safe. But fortunately for Manly, it broke down on the last. Benji Marshall surprised that Fulton was throwing the football to him.
Put early, Benji.
Back rowers, stay down. Over both feet.
Wait.
Hopewate. 25 out from his own line. This is Morrow. Rose.
He's been good since coming on, George Rose. A real handful.
Now Ballon. George is getting some attention there from the trainer. Cherry Evans to Glenn Stewart to Jamie Lyon. And there's Chrissy Lawrence. And I repeat what one of the boys said in the first half. These centre battles out here tonight. Absorbing. Now Cherry Evans sweeps it away high. And Foran goes even higher. Down to Utai, and they just keep peppering Matt Utai.
Fingertips there from Matt Utai.
25 away from his own line. Fulton running towards the blind side for Ashford.
I can't believe Matt caught that. He looked for all money like it was an impossible catch.
Here he is again, Utai, not Matai.
Utai.
Yeah.
Utai. Oh, that's a good catch.
He was good off the bench last week. Lottie Takiri missing tonight with a torn quadricep, continuing his awful run with injuries this year as Ellis keeps it alive. Finally to Todd Payton, cut out to Moulton.
Now it was Robbie Farah on the 40-metre line.
Your man Matai got him there, Roberts.
Here's Beck Woods again. Bet your bottom dollar he won't be making the run that he did previously, and they shut the door on him very quickly. Here's Marshall kicking at the line, and Hopewate off his own line. A little bit of a slippery start, but he got it back 15 metres up the ground. Played back to Stewart, and now Oldfield runs it straight at Woods. Payton goes in with the youngster to make the tackle, and the penalty goes against them. There's a hand on the
Go
ball.
through with the knees, you've got to go out.
Well, I think he's saying that you've led with the knees. trying to dislodge the football or cause a bit of discomfort for the man with the football.
Yeah, when Manly are coming out of trouble, the blokes getting up to play the ball, you know, they do sort of push forward, and the marker's trying to stand his ground and the man's trying to push forward. Both times Manly have got the penalty.
Well, there was a definite hand on the football after the tackle had been made, but then you're right, he pressed forward with the knees. He didn't have to charge him with both offences, though, I can assure you. The first one was enough. Here's Watmo, taken by Ellis and Payton. Ballon to Cherry Evans. There's a decoy run out there, but Brett Stewart was well marked. Jason King it was, the big prop, running a decoy. Morrow. He's got some good equipment around him, hasn't he, Des Hasler? Coming off the bench, people like Burer and Morrow and Rose. Little kick down, and Rodney's after it, so is Oldfield. Moulton has come out of the ground like a worm to make the tackle. 5 gone, Brett Stewart. Kieran Foran. It's a wide kick over towards Chris Lawrence. Oh, Jamie Lyon. He had it and lost it.
So close. I'm not sure whether Tim Moulton handled that previous one good or bad, but he got a great result. Watch this, he sort of doesn't play at it and lets them take at it, and then he grabs the tackle. The last thing he wanted to do was grab hold of the ball. Now the crossfield kick. Jamie Lyon has it. Ow, couldn't get hold of it.
We've seen him score a couple of tries this year in exactly that fashion, with the arms extended above his head, plucking it out of the air. I'm disappointed with that one as Roddy Farah tries to split the markers, unable to do so.
Louis to Marshall. Marshall back in field for Woods, who spirals out of a tackle, gets it away to Louis. Louis's got the fullback in front of him, and Brett Stewart doesn't miss them often. Play by Louis. Farah then to Marshall. Marshall puts a kick in, came off the rump of one of the Manly players, then Marshall touched it. Cherry Evans has got the ball. And the Manly number 7 plays the ball. Now Hopawate is put down. On their 40-metre line. Ballon to King. King running at Woods and Payton. And Brent Kite about to come back into the game. Manly sweep the ball towards the left side of the ground.
You mentioned Jamie Burer, Ray. He's yet to play any part tonight. Both teams have gone with 16 so far. Burer yet to come in, and for the Tigers, no Mitch Brown as yet.
Cherry Evans. We saw a gap there starting to come when Marshall went up. Ellis has come up with the ball for West Tigers now. Marshall to Farah, Farah to Louis, Louis on, Fulton's with it, runs a little arc. He'll play the ball on the halfway line in the Bundaberg sign. Friday night football for Bundaberg. Played by Todd Payton now. On the red line, Manly's into the ground. And Gareth Ellis has been really good for West Tigers tonight. Farah passing, Marshall shows it. Then he goes over the head, and Utai has got the ball and knew that he was being compressed into the sideline. They get a penalty.
Oh, last tackle. Kieran Foran can't believe it. He's asking the touch judge, who was at fault? Was it me?
Well, this is a big part of the game here, I think. 26 minutes to go, but 12-0. The Tigers will be desperate to score in this passage. They can't come away without points now.
No doubt who it was responsible for the steal. It was Matai. And here's Fulton! Liam playing the ball 3 metres out from the line. Farah, bullet-like. Louis across, drifting. Marshall beats one. Steps off his left twice, gets the ball back to Ellis. It goes to ground, picked up by Aaron Woods, I think it is. No, it's Chris Hyington. Now Moulton, now Louis, now Farah. Over it goes to Ashford, and Ashford will be taken by Glenn Stewart. 4 tackles gone against the West Tigers. Here's a kick from Farah. Will they get another set? Yes. Brett Stewart.
All good. Yeah.
Batting it.
Goal line drop out.
A break and back in a moment.
Not early.
Let's go, Daly. There it is.
Welcome back to Blue Tongue here at Gosford. Line dropout has just been taken. And West Tigers resuming with another set in attack. Play by Gibbs. Hyington with a hard run straight ahead. He'll play it 19 away from the line. Played Farah to the left and back on the inside for Galloway. Galloway looking to pass out the back. He could have. Decided not to. Farah, blindside play. Hyington short. And he's put to ground by King and Watmo in the main. Fourth tackle gone against West Tigers now. Farah to Moulton. Moulton's pass goes straight past Marshall. Picked up by Gareth Ellis. And Ellis will be playing the ball on 5. 12 metres out from the line. Dummy half Gibbs. Now to Marshall. He finds Louis. Louis over. Robert Louis has got the try that West Tigers absolutely demanded.
They did indeed, and it was a last tackle play there from Benji Marshall. A lot going through his mind. I'd say kick was at the top of that list, but he's fired a pass to Robert Louis, who ran a great line and took a very difficult ball above his head. The Tigers well back into it.
A little bit enigmatic, isn't he, Robert Louis? Robert Louis has scored the try that West Tigers absolutely had to get. Marshall converts. It all went wrong there for a split second when Gareth Ellis finished up with the ball, but Andrew, it came up smelling roses.
Yeah, beautiful ball from Benji. Have a look at the line from Louis on the Kuno replay. Straight and hard. I'd love to see more of this from the Tigers. There's been a lot of sideways movement. Look at Benji going the line. This is an incredible line for a halfback to run. And the outside in, that's a really tough line. Well done, Robert Louis.
That may be a real blessing for Robert Louis. I think in recent weeks his confidence has been down. He's missed some tackles defensively. He's dropped some football. But a play like that, it might just lift his spirits, and he might grow on the back of just that one instance there.
He looks to me like he's a player that needs to be confident. We all need to be confident, but he looks like he is a confidence player, Robert Louis. And when I guess you're wedged in between Farah and Marshall, it wouldn't be hard to be a little bit introverted. This is Gibbs. Farah to Marshall. Oh, to Lawrence! Chris Lawrence is through. Inside the 30, inside the 20. Pulled down over there brilliantly by Stewart. What a bad run for a kid that dislocated a hip a few months ago, and here he is again. Chris Lawrence for the line. Has he got the ball down?
Easy.
Well, I think if we have a look back, in retrospect, Chris will believe he should have passed when he made the first break.
Tackle 6.
I'm not quite sure whether he's got there on this occasion with his second involvement. I don't think I'm sure he had someone on his inside. Was it Tim Moulton? This is the last play. Will Hopewade, Daly Cherry Evans doing their best. You can't see the football from that angle. Nah, he's short there, and if anything, he's double moving. danger.
Yeah, I agree, Peter. The previous play, he should have passed. He had player inside and outside, and then decided to take on the last man in defence himself and was rounded up. There's no try here. Maybe we won't get a chance for a replay, we'll see, but...
Last tackle, play the ball here. No.
So they're saying Manly to play the ball. Well, when Chris Lawrence broke through, it really looked like he had players inside. Now, there it is, bang. Short ball, here he goes. Yeah, player inside, player outside, and decided to run himself. Maybe he felt they were covered. Maybe he felt Cherry Evans would have made the tackle from behind.
Well, in fact, the man on the inside was Robbie Farah. You might have thought he wouldn't have had the speed to get there. It's gone now.
This is a little additive to that. They might have been lucky to get away with a simple handover. Could have been well a double movement in there. Andrew John sideline.
Yeah, there's a warning shot for the Seagulls. They've got to keep playing. You can't protect a lead against a team like the Tigers. I think we saw St George Illawarra do that Monday night against Canberra. You can't protect a lead in the modern game.
I think you'll find they thought they had a match won. Was it the first match of the year last year when Lottie scored on his first touch? I think Manly ran up a big lead and then West Tigers gunned them down in that game at the start of last year.
There's that ball taken by Tim Moulton. The pass from Benji Marshall to Chris Lawrence was a beauty. Just a little short ball on the outside. One here from Beau Ryan, gets to the 40.
Playing it on his own 40-metre line. And here's Marshall. They've upped the tempo. Ashford taken by Oldfield and Foran. But they're now on the 40-metre line at the other end of the ground. Utai for Farah. Big dummy Farah. Holds it up and Ashford will score. Blake Ashford runs around, makes it easier for the goal kicker. Puts it down at the southern end at the Brisbane Waters end of the ground.
Well, they're screaming about a potential forward pass. The Tigers have used this play several times tonight where they get tackled near a sideline,
That's right.
look to go back in field, but then switch play to come back down the sideline. Screaming about this pass from Farah. Let's have a look. He goes through the gap.
He passed it backwards. He's running forward. The ball's going to travel that way, mate.
Line ball, I guess.
Well, here they come. Here they come. What match was I talking about?
Yeah, the first game last year.
Tell me. Yeah. Welcome back, West Tigers fans.
Oh, no.
Well, I was about to say 12 all and back. Blake Ashford, the try scorer.
As Phil pointed out, they've had some success going back that way. Michael Oldfield was actually at marker and went infield. Watch him, he's at marker there and goes infield, his first movement, before he tries to retreat back. And that's why there was an open saloon open there for Blake Ashford. Unfortunately, Benji misses a conversion, but at 12-10, there's still a lot left to go in this game. Still got a quarter of the match to go.
Oh, yeah, but Peter, that missed conversion really changes things, doesn't it?
Well, I don't like to bring it up, but it certainly hurt Penrith last week when Travis Burns missed the conversion from close to the post instead of being 6-all, 6-4.
But this fellow in a dogged performance. Chris Hyington on the 30-metre line, his own end of the ground. This is Gibbs.
Well, the thing about Hyington, when you pick Hyington, you know exactly what you're going to get every week. 15 runs, 30 tackles, and every one of them quality.
Marshall double pumped it. Chris Lawrence has got the ball. It might have come off the legs of Jamie Lyon. And I see Beau Ryan appealing for 6 more, but there's no way Jamie Lyon played at the ball. Marshall played at the ball. Marshall ran into space, got the ball to Lawrence. Lawrence is away. 3 tries now to West Tigers since the 56th minute.
Yep, that's 3 in about 6 minutes. Unbelievable. Straight through on a couple of occasions. The Tigers, the Manly defence, The much vaunted Manly defence, they're starting to crack wide open. Benji Marshall just slid through, and wait till you have a look at the replay of the last pass, the no look. Throws a little dummy on the outside, slides through, beats 4, looks inside, passes outside, and Chris Lawrence, he might have bombed one not long ago. Well, he gets another one.
How good is he? How good is he, Mr. Marshall? What about Chris Lawrence? Fair dinkum. Round 4 it was, wasn't it? Yeah. There's a good shot of Chris Lawrence talking to one of the great magpies of all time, and the former Wallaby, Andrew Leeds, the trainer. But what a comeback for Chrissy Lawrence.
Yeah, and he was just saying to Andrew Leeds that there's a bit of a twinge in his right groin there. But,
well, that's where the hip pain comes from, Peter, the groin, you know that. Here's Marshall, but what a player is this fellow. What a player is Benji Marshall. Can he kick this one? No, he can't.
Just watch this pass again, Rabbits. And for kids sitting at home, well, you probably shouldn't try this in the park tomorrow unless you've had years of touch football experience, playing Oz tag, playing touch. He breaks into the backfield, sums it up, looks infield. Oh, how does he do that? That's brilliant. Wow.
And they lead for the first time tonight, the West Tigers, and they've got the wind in their sails. Strong defence there from Manly. Can Kieran Foran now rise to the occasion and get Manly back into this contest and in front?
Gibbs just outside the 20-metre line. Spread it out there to that left edge again for Ellis. And Bura is to come into the game. Hyington. Gareth Ellis again. He wants a piece of everything.
Oh, he's been sensational tonight.
He has indeed. Tell him to wait back after the game. He can pick up some orange peels and what have you. And this ball goes into touch down on the 10-metre line. Gareth Ellis, a superb effort tonight. George Rhodes with a bloodied nose. This Englishman, gee, he's good, and I've seen a lot of them. But I don't know that he's got any peers.
I've got to be honest.
Really was great. I've got to say that.
I've got to be honest, Rabbits. I haven't seen orange peels on a football field since about 1975.
No, you're right.
Do people bring oranges to the game anymore?
I don't know, Gus, but once upon a time when I was in a junior football club, it was my job to pick up the orange peels, that's all.
Yeah. I think now they have snakes and lollies at half-time. They don't have oranges at half-time anymore.
Oh, you've become pedantic since you took on the Panthers job. You really have become pedantic. Played now by Glenn Stewart. Jason King. And he lodged a knock-on against Manly's Matt Ballin.
Tigers feed.
Tigers loose head feed 30 metres out. TAB Sports Bet. Tigers were $8 at halftime. They were $8 at halftime. What are they now, Matthew? $1.50. You can bet on 1-333-90 with TAB Sports Bet. As I said, they are the biggest and the best, but gamble responsibly.
I'm pretty sure some George Illawarra versus Canberra on Monday night. The Raiders were out to that kind of price at half-time. Got up the win as Robbie Farah picks up from the back, passes inside. Looks like Chris Lawrence.
Hyington winds it up and lets it go. 15 away from the line. Farah turning it in. The A-beam is back out there, Matt Grote. He's 9 metres away from the southern try line. Farah, a blindside play with Chris Lawrence, who's become the go-to man on the left side. Gets up a little bit awkwardly. Now to Louis. Now very, very deep to Molson. Back to Marshall. Puts a grubber in looking for Matt Utai. Cleaned up by Manly's Oldfield.
Well, hasn't this game changed complexion? At 12-0, you got the feeling Manly were cruising and the Tigers were getting frustrated with the good Manly defence. And all of a sudden, a couple of forwards burst into the backfield. Benji Marshall weaves some magic. And they're in front. Manly needed this penalty.
And Matt Grote is penalised for a steal, I would imagine, rather than a hand on the ball after the tackle had been made. And it's a correct penalty blown up by Jason Robinson on Matt Grote. So on the 40-metre line, Manly, Cherry Evans steps and beats one. Beat Gareth Ellis, who came up fast. Cherry Evans, oh, did he knock that ball on? No. Brent Kite comes away. And he's taken down low by Liam Fulton. And that's a flop against Grote.
That was way too late. Cannot ignore that.
Well, poor old Matt Grote, he's only young, but that's 2 penalties he's given in consecutive sets.
Yeah, the referee said you were way too late. And Grote said, well, I got there as quick as I could.
You are pulling out some of the chestnuts of rugby league tonight.
Wasn't quick enough for Tim Sheen's liking.
Played by Buren now. Matai, 1 in, 4 in, 2 in, Malaval. There's a book of rugby league yarns, and Gus has read them obviously during the week. Now it's gone Cherry Evans. Now it's with Brett Stewart. Taken by Gareth Ellis. 12 away from the West Tigers line. Ballon for Watmo. Watmo on to Cherry Evans. Puts a little kick in and it's gone favourably to Molson.
Gee, that's a really, really poor play there from Daly Cherry Evans. That was only 3rd tackle. And you can tell from his reaction, he knows that was just a complete brain explosion. We've been in plenty of raps this year, and rightly so, but that wasn't one of his better plays. As a penalty for the West Tigers will be well received also. 5-4 to penalty count in favour of the Eagles.
Matt Grote will be very happy.
That was a bit of an impulse kick, wasn't it? There wasn't much strategy in that at all. But that can happen under pressure.
Galloway. 7 metres his own side of halfway. Back, second man Louis, inside ball Hyington.
Are we inside the last 10 minutes? Is that 9 minutes to go?
Exactly right.
I can't believe that.
Galloway taking it down the middle.
We're in the 71st minute. This is going to be over.
Marshall passes and it hit Lyon, I should say. The referee is ordering a knock-on against Jamie Lyon. Jamie might be blowing up thinking that it was a forward pass. As it turned out, they've ruled that he knocked on, interfering with the pass, or attempting an intercept of the pass, is the way to put it.
This game has gone so fast. I thought we had about 15 minutes left to play. You look up, we're now down to only 8.5 minutes left to play.
Only were looking for their 4th win on the trot tonight. Not were, they still are. Tigers looking for their 3rd on the trot.
They haven't achieved that this year. They get 6 points in this last couple of minutes here and they'll wrap it up.
Gibbs, Hyington, Galloway. 11 out. Running towards our favourite end of the ground is Farah, Marshall and Liam Fulton. Held up in goal.
Tackle 4, boys.
Tackle 4 called by Jason Robinson.
Reset out to Ashley.
Gee, they're playing well, the Tigers. This is a big turnaround to a month ago.
They've been.
Well, they looked very distracted a month ago. Hard to imagine what was going on there as people tried to sort their future out, but now they're really focused, and this is the sort of team I thought we'd see after their season last year. Maybe they're getting it all together at the right time.
Farah puts a little poke on it. Oldfield runs it dead, and so they will get 6 more.
That's a lovely play.
crowd tonight, or not again, 20,059. That's the third time that number has been the ground record. So we've got a full house. I don't know how they do that because I can see a lot of seats over there vacant.
That's amazing, isn't it? 20,059 3 times, Rose. That's what a coincidence.
So we've got 3 equal holders of the ground record matches here at Blue Tongue.
Triple dead heat.
It's a triple dead heat.
You just grab one bloke walking along outside and pull him through the fence, wouldn't you? Just to make it 20 and 60.
So here's Louis, inside ball for Fulton, 10 metres out from the line. So left side for Hyington, then Gibbs, now Galloway, 2 metres out from the line. Farah scurries in, passes to the left side to Marshall. It's gone into touch.
Strike Manly, yes.
Saying off Manly. He's saying off Manly. This is a Tigers feed.
This is a call. This is a call.
A Tigers feed. The pressure continues.
This might be a ploy from Benji. Just keep throwing it into the opposition and getting 6 a game.
Well, Manly can't get into the game because they haven't got the ball. We've seen an extraordinary amount of possession go the way of the Tigers in this second half.
20,059, eh? Equaling the ground record for the second time. Here they come! Chris Lawrence! Oh, strong run!
Tackle Brett Stewart.
Taken a metre out by Brett Stewart. Farah, now Galloway. Galloway grunting and trying to grind out a metre extra.
Go, Keithy.
Now Louis taken to ground and bent over. 7 away to the blind side. Farah for Lawrence. It's almost like he's magnetic, Chris Lawrence. We've got to go to Chris Lawrence, seems to be the call. Ryan, Farah, Louis, Marshall shows Hyington the ball, gives it to Fulton, and Fulton is 18 metres out from the Manly line. 5 gone, scooped up Hyington with Marshall, little kick in. Oh, Nullival! I thought for a moment he was going to slip and lose the opportunity to force it. They'll get another set.
What about this control from the Tigers? They have totally blotted Manly out of the game by just dominating possession, set after 6, set of 6 after set of 6. And again, a perfectly weighted kick into the in goal gets the restart. Now Manly resort to the short line dropout.
The bouncer that's come off for them.
Michael Oldfield getting the bounce there. So Bryce Gibbs in the replays. His eyes were like dinner plates when he thought that a try might be coming his way.
Eura inside the 20-metre line. Big George. 25 out. Down by 2. 4 minutes of the game to go. Manly at the wrong end of the park. Matai, taken by Ellis. There's a hint of a Cumberland throw there. Played by Matai. Cherry Evans driving it down towards Moulton. Timmy Moulton off his own line. Foran leads the chase. He passes to Ryan. And guess who he's going to have to play it to? There's only one there at the moment, Tim Moulton.
That was a tremendous kick from Daly Cherry Evans to find the distance and space to get the football down here. Now it's up to Manly to force the error.
Utah. Timeout. Manly fans not prepared to believe that there's a legitimate injury here, but it's a time soaker.
Well, the cramp is usually the go-to play when you're trying to waste time. They all stick the toe up in the air and say, I've got a little cramp there. And then we get the little toe push, and I'm not calling Matt Utah the fibber, but it's certainly a nice little rest for his team, isn't it?
Dr. Phil.
Well, the cramp is the go-to injury when you're wasting time. That's the one you use when you want to waste a few seconds.
Dragons and Rabbitohs. Two of the greats names of rugby league. On Sunday, on our telecast, South Sydney, of course, have won the most premierships. The Dragons second most. Well, if you include the days of St George rather than the merger. And I think you should. Here's Galloway.
That's the last tackle. Pressure coming through from Manly here. They need a good strike from Benji.
Benji kicks. Watmo takes him. And it's down to Oldfield. And Ashford and Fulton close the door in defence. George Rose running at Bryce Gibbs. Gibbs and Fulton. Now Ballon into Malaval. Taken there by Galloway and Gibbs. Hyington a piece of it. Ballon looking for Foran. That's Foran. That's Burer. And they're on the 40-metre line. They've used 4 tackles on this set. And we've got 3 1/4 minutes to go now. And to ground is Foran. Played back for Ballon. Ballon right. It goes on to Cherry Evans's boot. It's gone down and it's taken by Hopewave. They let him land. They parcel him up. That is turnover time.
Easy, boys. Take your time. Take your time.
Smart play again by Lawrence over on that wing.
Now we're inside the last 2 minutes. Manly might get one more possession, but the Tigers have got to ensure it's way down the other end of the field, or at best kick it out over the sideline and walk to the scrum. They've really got to control where Manly get the ball now.
Fulton takes it out to the 20-metre line. Some of these players that have starred tonight are players that are leaving the club. And, you know, it's all been part of the destabilisation, I think, of Western or the West Tigers. People like Fulton.
Oh, here from Robbie Farrow. Joe Nullavow still down receiving attention for Manly. Scrum will be set quickly here by the Seagulls to get time called off. Nullavow leaving the field.
Yeah, well, we've got time for one full set of 6 here. 1 minute 2 left on the clock. That's enough time for a full set of 6. And because we've got an injury, the players who packed into the scrum can now break.
Yeah, they thought he'd broken his hand a couple of weeks ago, Joe Nullavow, and I've seen him in agony a couple of times in the last few weeks with the hand or the arm there. So he's playing under duress, no doubt about that. And he's got one up high as well, obviously.
Now what do they go to here, Peter? What's their favourite play to score a try when you need one to win, Manly?
Well, they can go either way. They've got the best left side attack statistically, along with the Cowboys. So they've had a lot of success off Kieran Foran, but Glenn Stewart to the right side with Jamie Lyon is an attraction as well. They had some success early in the night with some angle running, maybe Lyon back on the inside.
Lyon loves you to kick for him. He loves you to grab a kick into the in goal.
Okay.
Well, that'll be their last play if they get through to 5 and haven't scored.
Right. You've heard it from the experts. Let's see it unfold. Jamie Lyon kicks on the first. Bo Ryan is back there. He's got it safely.
Bo Ryan was already back there. Bo Ryan was a long way back already. He was never going to miss that.
Mulchin.
Well, I was thinking about 3 or 4 different options, and this wasn't one of them. My God.
Ryan again.
That's just a brain snap. That was never, ever, ever on.
Third tackle, the Tigers. Galloway!
Go, Keithy! Go, Keithy!
Sit down, you idiots!
Go,
Stop
Keithy!
panicking in commentary. You'll be accused of bias. Galloway.
He's got the cramp too, Keithy.
Stop.
He's made the big break and he's gone for the cramp.
Stop cheering for Keithy.
What would be the worst cramp? Long legs like Keith or short legs like Matt?
I don't know, but they're going to win the football game. They're going to win the football game. And that has got to be it now. What a night. What a game. 14-12. The Tigers have beaten Manly. Team 7 has beaten Team 2. in a blockbuster.
And Ray scored 14 unanswered points in the second half. Not many sides have done that to the Seagulls in recent seasons.
I was going to make the point, or I got halfway through it, some of the players that had been talked about as leaving the club, and it did include Liam Fortin, but he's not leaving the club, but people like Bryce Gibbs and company, Timmy Moulton, they really performed right up to their best tonight. This was a wonderfully entertaining game. I hope it's come across that way. 14-12, Ellis was brilliant, Lawrence was brilliant. There was some magical stuff from Stewart and Cherry Evans and Benji Marshall.